Oh, hello, Atif. Good evening, my dear. Good evening. Hope you are doing well.
Yeah, hi Umer. I'm doing great. What about you?
Okay, I'm also doing good. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so Atif, before starting the session, before starting the discussion, can you please introduce yourself in detail so that we can start the session?
Myself, Atif Verma. I belong to Champaran, Bihar. I did my engineering in computer science from Bangalore. After that, I prepared for UPSC also. Then I moved to job. I started my job in a trade India for 6 months. Later, I moved to Byju's, where I worked for 3.5 years. I resigned as a business development manager. So I resigned because of the study purpose for 2 3 months. Then again, I joined company. So after writing GMAT exam, I got my desired marks. So I joined the company. Right now, I'm moving to Belfast. It's actually in UK. I'm going to Queen's College, Queen's University, Belfast.
Okay, that's good and quite interesting, my dear. And as you had a great background, like you have working experience with some top companies as well. So
Right.
Atif, eh, let's discuss regarding your GMAT preparation, like how you did your GMAT preparation and all that. So can you please tell us regarding first, how did you know about verbal hub के बारे में आपको कैसे पता चला and all that?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, before going for my GMAT preparation, I was doing R&D kind of thing because I was more into analytics and more into review kind of thing. So I wanted to do my GMAT during the lockdown phase only, but due to job at home and this criteria, I could not move to do that. When I moved back to office, then finally my parents asked me, "Ki, what do you want to do in life? You either want to study." So I wanted like, no, this time I'm serious. I want to do some study for my masters because from bachelor's you cannot move ahead in India at least. So once I researched about it, like I have been taken trial classes from Jamburi and many others also. There are so many in that market, but someone told me on Quora, like in Verbal Hub, we'll be having a personal interaction and we'll be clearing your doubts as much as possible. And the teachers are very user friendly. So I took a demo class from the Hassan Raza sir and Jha sir for the quant part. So I like the way of teaching. So finally, I decided I won't be going for the hi-fi Jamburi and there are so many other coachings. I would go for the Verbal Hub because I got a review also in Quora. So from that, I had personal experience. So I started with
Ah,
Verbal Hub.
that's great, my dear. And Atif, as you told that you are working you're working professional, right? So how did you manage your time? So
So
for
yeah, definitely. It was a very tough time because I was working in Byju's. So I started for starting 1 or 2 months. It was really difficult because in Byju's there is no in time or out time. If you are coming to 9:30, you won't be knowing at what time you will be free. So actually, the Byju's is a very good company. It gives you lot of extra benefits also. But the problem was there you don't have a social life. If it says like it's a 5 days working, you have to work for 6 or 7 days also. You can't say for a manager, it was really difficult for me to get a time for it. So definitely I have to plan my things on for the weekends and for weekdays, I cannot take more than 1 hour. Frankly speaking, because it is really difficult to manage. And as I'm a health freak, I go to gym also. So I am also not skipping my gym classes. So to maintain all this, I have to plan them.
is there any particular quant strategy आप कुछ strategy follow कर रहे थे constants like regarding for the quant या verbal के लिए कुछ आप strategy थी आपकी particular या
Yeah. Definitely in starting, but some of my friends recommended to go for GMAT. I was not exactly knowing the what are the conditions, what are the syllabus. Even I just knew that it's a elementary maths and English will be there. So I was not knowing about the and even I when I took the first mock test, the score was really horrible because I was not knowing about the anything. So when I started, so I was not having a concrete plan from where I should start. Okay. So when the classes resume from the Bubble Hub, like the Hassan sir has given me a blueprint, like from where we'll start. We'll start with the reading section. We'll move on to CR. Then later on, we'll be moving on to SC. And for the same, for the quant part also, as I'm good with numbers, so quant was pretty smooth for me, right? Because I can do the calculations and these things in my mind. I don't need a pen and paper because I have like these numbers is my childhood favorite thing. So everyone has something favorite. So number systems were my favorite among all. So quant was pretty smooth for me, but verbal was not smooth because I'm from Bihar, right? People generally speak English, right? We used to speak in Bhojpuri. So I actually studied from a convent school, but that will be only for school. After that, I went to Kota. Kota is also is a Hindi place. Like you will be only speaking Hindi. You won't be interacting in English. When I went to Bangalore, so where there actually the main verbal communication part started from there itself, because in Canada, like Karnataka people, they used to be known as Kannada. They won't be speaking Hindi, so you have to speak English. And from there onwards, I've started my building ability to watch English movies and series, and I gained some like confidence in speaking. And by Juice, like, later part of my life, they taught me a whole lot of confidence, because we have to give a speech and this presentation among 500 and 600 people. So finally I got that. But the main thing was in that, like, you have to be knowing complete proper grammar, because it is nothing like you can speak or you can understand English. You just be knowing for sentence correction, the grammar should be there. So I failed a little bit of difficulty in the starting, but Hassan sir has taught me clearly, and he made my basics clear, and he told me to go from the basic itself. So I preferred Ren and Martin in the early parts to know the basic of the grammar. Then it
Yes.
helped me a lot. Then I moved with the recommended books and this OG thing. So first I started with the basic for the verbal thing. But for maths was a best part for me. So maths was pretty smooth. The sir has taught me the individual chapters. I was following what he was telling me, and based on that, I was able to score more, because in the first exam you won't be scoring more, but if you are scoring more, then it is really good. But you have to improve.
So in first attempt, you cannot like in first score for first mark, you cannot expect much more. Like if you
Yeah,
are doing, that's a
definitely.
great. Okay.
Definitely. If I'm
Mm.
saying about me, like I got 7 in IR in the final
Okay.
GMAT exam, but I
Okay.
started with 2. So if some people get 2, like they feel like कि मेरे से होगा कि नहीं होगा, they will be doubting on themselves. So you don't know about anything. You must be knowing कि आपको क्या syllabus है, किस तरह का question types है. After understanding those things, how we have to approach, there are the certain limitations also, because GMAT is all about आपको deviate करने का चीज है. You have to be on track, right? The questions are like that only कि you have to be very much focused, because वो आपका brain drain कर लेगा. I'm telling you, when we'll be writing a mock test, no, after 3 hours you need some drink. If literally I'm speaking, like after 3 hours we'll feeling like कि
Okay.
बस 10 घंटे का बायजूस की जॉब से ज्यादा टफ है.
One more thing, my dear. So you told me that like you got 7 in IR. What was
Right.
the like particular strategy for IR section as well? So आपकी क्या strategy IR के लिए थी?
First of all, when I started, so I
Hmm.
already said कि I was not knowing about the question types. So
Okay.
I am doing not perfectly different, but my approach was a bit different, because
Hmm.
everyone is following elementary method कि
Hmm.
ये process है, you have
Hmm.
to draw the diagram, you have to note down all the data. So
Hmm.
for my part, like कैलकुलेशन वाज नेक्स्ट पार्ट की आई कैन डू दैट. सो मेन
Hmm.
थिंग है कि आप जब क्वेश्चंस को देखते हैं ना, तो आपको जो डेटा दिया होता है, तो उसमें
Hmm.
साथ साथ यू हैव टू मेक प्लानिंग ऑल्सो कि
Hmm.
व्हाट वी हैव टू डू विद दिस
Hmm.
डेटा, व्हाई
Hmm.
एग्जैक्टली दिस डेटा हैज बीन गिवन.
Hmm.
So these
Hmm.
things you have to compute while you are reading this question, because 12 questions होते हैं, you have a
हाँ जी.
30 minutes of time,
हाँ.
and 2.5 minutes is really not sufficient to solve a question. Even though I got 7, I could not attempt all the 12 questions. I believe I
Okay. Yeah.
attempted 10 questions,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
the main thing is that you have to be focused while
Yeah.
reading the, because you have to utilize the bit of seconds, every bit of seconds, right? कि
Yes.
आप ऐसा नहीं क्वेश्चन पढ़ने के टाइम पूरा क्वेश्चन ही पढ़ रहे हो, उसमें आपको डेटा जो दिया है उसमें आपको एक अपने मेमोरी में ना, मतलब विजुअल मेमोरी में उस डेटा के साथ ना कुछ इनसाइट्स निकालना पड़ता है, राइट? दिस इज ऑल
Hmm.
अबाउट विच आई एम गोइंग फॉर बिजनेस एनालिटिक्स. दिस इज
Hmm.
ऑल अबाउट दैट कि आपको एक चंक ऑफ डेटा मिलेगा, उससे आप एक फ्रूटफुल डेटा निकाल के कंपनीज को देंगे, राइट? सो
Hmm.
सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ थिंग आईआर में भी क्या होता है. IR is a mixture of verbal and quant both, right?
Hmm.
So you have
Hmm.
to analyze these things कि हाँ इस डेटा से हम लोग क्या निकाल सकते हैं, बिकॉज क्वेश्चन में आपको बहुत सारी चीज डेविएट करेगा, आपको बहुत सारी चीजें दे देगा, बट उसमें से एक चीज पूछेगा. तो यू हैव टू बी वेरी मच फोकस्ड ऑल्सो कि आप डेविएट ना हो जाए सारे डेटा से, राइट? तो
Okay.
आपको सारी चीज का मास्टर नहीं करना है, लेकिन जो जो मेन डेटा है, यू हैव टू
Hmm.
थिंक ऑफ दैट सो दैट यू कैन यूटिलाइज योर टाइम. सो आई
Hmm.
डिड दैट, बिकॉज कैलकुलेशन, देखिए कैलकुलेशन सबका ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत अच्छा हो सकता है, सबका बहुत खराब. डिपेंड करता है. हु हैव इंटरेस्ट इन मैथ्स, तो दे हैव अ एड ऑन एडवांटेज कि हाँ वो कैलकुलेशन जल्दी कर लेंगे, तो दे कैन सेव सम टाइम. बट कैलकुलेटर भी दिया होता है, बट द मैंने किसी भी एग्जाम में कैलकुलेटर यूज नहीं किया है, आई एम फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग, क्योंकि आईआर में बिकॉज
हाँ,
वो एक स्पैम है, अगर आप कैलकुलेटर यूज करने जाएंगे ना तो इट विल टेक मोर टाइम।
more time, yeah,
या
definitely in cat
तो
as well, yeah. Hmm.
कैलकुलेटर बहुत ज्यादा डेटा है, इफ इट इज अनकाउंटेबल काइंड ऑफ थिंग, मिलियंस बिलियंस या लैक्स में है, दैट कैन नॉट बी काउंटेड, देन आई विल बी रिकमेंडिंग कि हाँ उस टाइम आप जाइए कैलकुलेटर पे। रेस्ट फॉर द 2 डिजिट 3 डिजिट, डोंट गो फॉर द कैलकुलेटर, राइट? यू कैन
Okay.
इजीली डू इट, देयर आर सम ट्रिक्स, बिकॉज
Mhm.
यू माइट बी नोइंग कि मल्टीप्लिकेशन ट्रिक्स होते हैं, बहुत सारे ट्रिक्स होते हैं जीरो हटा के, वो हमने भी सीखा था, बट वो बहुत हेल्पफुल रहता है ये सब चीजों में।
Okay. So yes, yes.
So
So मतलब tricks help करती है GMAT में ना अगर
definitely,
exam में.
definitely, it helps in like GMAT is all about saving your time, nothing more than that. So
Okay.
how much you save your time, it will
Hmm.
be helping you, because मैं भी 12 क्वेश्चन नहीं कर पाया क्योंकि
Hmm.
obviously in some questions you will be stuck, but I will recommend कि don't give more than 3.5 minutes in a single question, right? Because
Yes.
फिर आपके क्वेश्चंस easy होंगे, वो छूट जाएंगे, you
Hmm.
won't be knowing, राइट?
Hmm.
तो
Hmm.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जीमेट में क्या है कि आपको आईआर में 12 क्वेश्चंस दिख जाते हैं, राइट?
Hmm.
उसमें वो
Yes.
एडेप्टिव नहीं होते हैं, वो 12 क्वेश्चंस के 12 क्वेश्चंस वही रहेंगे।
जी जी.
जैसे वो क्वांट और वर्बल में होते हैं कि आपके क्वेश्चंस चेंज होते जाते हैं, हाउ यू आंसर इट, राइट? बट आईआर में सारे आपको एक बार आ जाते हैं, वही
Hmm.
रहते हैं, उसके बेसिस पे
Hmm.
आपको स्कोर मिलता है, राइट? सो
Hmm.
आईआर के लिए बहुत मतलब जिनको एंथुसियास्ट है, बिकॉज वी आर गोइंग फॉर बिजनेस स्कूल्स, राइट? तो बिजनेस स्कूल इज ऑल अबाउट कि आपको डेटास एंड उस पे खेलना है, you must
Interpretation
be
करना
good,
या.
yeah, you must be good in the interpretation,
Yeah.
what exactly the thing is given.
Hmm.
Again, I was telling कि हम मुझे भी प्रॉब्लम होती थी वो क्वेश्चंस में जो ट्रू फॉल्स ट्रू होते थे, राइट? जिसमें
Hmm.
स्टेटमेंट होता था, so in that
Hmm.
quant was less and more about verbal, so I was facing difficulty in those questions. You also taught me कि हाँ हमें अप्रोच कैसे करना है, I worked on that, then it helped me a lot
Oh.
कि मैं स्कोर कर पाया। तो it depends कि उस वो क्वेश्चंस किसी को इजी लगेंगे, क्वांट वाले थोड़े टफ लगेंगे,
Okay.
बट यू मस्ट बी प्रैक्टिसिंग अलॉट, बिकॉज मैंने प्रैक्टिस बहुत सारा किया है, ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं एक बार में 2 से 7 आना, इट्स नॉट इजी, बट हाँ यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस, लाइक आपको टाइम देना पड़ेगा कि हाँ मैंने हाफ एन आवर आईआर प्रैक्टिस करना है, एंड टाइम देख के यू हैव टू डू इट कि मैं कितने क्वेश्चंस कर पा रहा हूँ। स्टार्टिंग में 3 क्वेश्चन सही करोगे कोई इशू नहीं है, 4 होंगे, 5 होंगे, धीरे धीरे इट विल इम्प्रूव ऑन, राइट? कि आपको अपनी गलतियों को मतलब सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, आई वॉज मेंटेनिंग अ डायरी, राइट? सो वॉट एवर द मिस्टेक्स आई वॉज डूइंग, आई वॉज मेकिंग अ नोट ऑफ इट, राइट? सो दैट कि नेक्स्ट एग्जाम में जब मैं भी वो एग्जाम दूं, वो गलती दोबारा ना करूं, राइट?
Okay.
दिस विल इम्प्रूव कि आपकी जो गलतियां हैं वो कम होंगी एट द एंड। इफ नो वन इज परफेक्ट, यू विल बी अप्रोचिंग टुवर्ड्स परफेक्टनेस, राइट? राइट, दिस इज समथिंग वी कैन डू फॉर it.
Okay,
So it
that's
was
great.
one of my trick key
Mm.
for getting better marks.
So, in nutshell, you told me that you was analyzing your results. आप मॉक को एनालाइज करते थे बाद में जब आप मॉक
Definitely.
देते थे, तो जहां पर मिस्टेक होती थी आप उसको रिवाइज करते थे और
I
नाम
gave
राइट?
more time on that. Actually, if
Okay.
I'll tell, no, मैं 3 घंटे के पेपर होते थे तो मैं जो रिजल्ट देखता था ना उसको मैं प्रॉपरली, मुझे 3 साढ़े 3 घंटा उसमें लग जाते थे जब मैं आंसर्स अपने एक एक आंसर्स लाता था। समटाइम्स क्या होता है, कुछ आंसर्स मैंने मतलब डाइसी होके दिया होता है, 2 ऑप्शंस में होता है, तो मेरे सही हो गए, बट आई वॉज नॉट
Okay.
हैप्पी, लाइक मेरी कहाँ पे गलती हो रही थी, तो आई वॉज गोइंग थ्रू द सॉल्यूशंस, बिकॉज सॉल्यूशंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, एक एक क्यों आपने छाटा है एंड परफेक्ट आंसर क्यों आया है, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि आप
Okay.
डायलेमा में जाओगे 2 आंसर्स के ना, वो रहता है, बट उससे क्या होगा कि आपकी गलतियां जो होगी वो कम होगी, तो यू हैव टू डू दैट। आपको अपने रिजल्ट और मॉक टेस्ट के एनालिसिस पे टाइम देना है। पीपल व्हाट यूज्ड टू डू, लाइक अर्लियर आल्सो आई यूज्ड टू डू कि आंसर्स आ गए, कितने सही है कितने
Okay.
गलत, डन डन, दिस इज नॉट द थिंग टू एनालाइज और इम्प्रूव।
Okay. Okay. So one more thing, Atif, I'm just asking, right, my dear. So क्या आपको लगा like the content that was provided by Verbal Hub was enough? Like जो वो method use करते that was quite like good for GMAT. आपको क्या लगा Verbal Hub के बारे में?
Definitely, definitely. First of all, verbal hub, what they start, they will give you the easiest level, right? Based on that level, like every question was having 620 level range. The Hassan sir's video solutions will be there. This question is of 650 level, 670 level, 700 level. So the material which was provided is a base. It's a good for your foundation, right?
Okay.
So to improve, obviously, more books are required. OG was provided to us. There were a lot more books also, Manhattan, and these all books were also really helpful. Aristotle was there, that helped me a lot for verbal thing to improve my basic. So obviously, the content which were given, it's a like obviously whole thing cannot be taught in the class. the blueprint or the structure of the syllabus can be taught, and moreover those questions which was taught was very relevant, right, to go third. But exactly for more question practice you have to refer those official books and those Manhattan books for the site, because I believe ki if you gather some more knowledge it will be obviously a add-on advantage, right? So everything was provided by Verbal Hub only. They provided me a content of these books also, and everything was provided to me. So I believe like the classes and the examples taught in the class were very good and basic things to build your structure. Based on that, advanced level study was also there. But first, they will cover up your basics. So that is a very good thing.
That's great, my dear. So, is there any suggestion for verbal hub? Verbal hub के लिए कोई suggestion है आपकी?
So no, Verbal Hub के लिए
Uh,
I as I was taking a one-on-one classes, like no one, no other student or someone that was there, like I was having same kind of class. So what I find ki if 2 3 people will be there, no, that is better, because you will be knowing more doubts, right? The
yeah,
people will
yeah,
asking
yeah.
more doubts and you will be having,
Right.
because at that time I was not having that doubt. At the same time when I go to study, no, then I was having doubts. So it was my choice, but because I was very hesitant, that's why I selected the one-on-one personalized class. So in the basic parts it really helped me a lot, but when it comes to doubt clearance and those kind of things, I could not ask much more doubts, because at that time I was not striking those doubts. It might be happening, some other student might ask that at time, right? So it was really like it was my choice and it helped me a lot. But in the doubt wise, I have having a separate stress and separate sessions for the doubt classes. So it was good overall. I have a good experience. The teachers were good and they were really supportive, right? Whenever I asked, even though at night, so Hassan sir used to reply me at 12 a.m. kind of thing. So I was like, I didn't got my desired marks in first attempt. I got a second attempt. So I was not motivated enough. So he helped me a lot. He took a one-on-one session where we are doing mistakes. So he guided me. He asked me to solve these questions and I have to share the result every day. I was sharing the result and he was giving me 10 minutes of the guidance on that. So it was really good. So I never thought ki I thought ki once the syllabus is over, everything has been disconnected. No, it was nothing like that. After 6 or 7 months, also when I interacted, he was really helpful and he gave me a mock. At that time, I was not having those mock platform. Right at that time, when I first gave my GMAT, at that time it was not available. But at the second time, when I wrote it, it was available. He provided me the access of it with Kuldeep sir. So it was really good. I have a good experience. I will always suggest people to go for the verbal hub. Don't go for the Jamburi and these kind of, because they will have so many students. And I don't know how they teach, because when I attended the demo lecture of those coachings, no, it was more over like full professional, and the thing was that the you won't be able to understand, because first you need to understand what the teacher is teaching you, right? So if those things are clear only, then you will be able to ask your doubts. So I feel comfortable here. I felt comfortable, and you were also there to teach me like IR. IR was a beautiful lesson. Like we interacted a lot, right? So I am giving a good because of you. I was able to score 7 because I was not knowing any of the syllabus. You gave me the last time I asked you, give me the materials also. So you provided me, it helped me a lot. So I'm thankful to you, all of you guys. So finally, I'll be telling you ki you have to write IELTS also. So if you are good with GMAT, no, IELTS is really easy because it's like a cup of cake for you if you have cleared GMAT.
And one more thing, my dear. So in future, anybody is like asking for the verbal hub, will you suggest them for verbal hub? आप उनको suggest करोगे verbal hub?
Yeah, definitely. It's not a question for me. Like I won't be. If anyone asked for me ki from where you studied, I told ki I studied from Verbal Hub itself.
It's
I'm
okay.
strongly suggesting you ki you should give a try. I'm not
Okay.
telling you to get admit. Just give a try. Take a demo lecture
Yeah.
and check it, because it's a word of mouth, right? Word of mouth plays very important role in this, right? Even I am from edtech background. I was knowing about the Byju's. Word of mouth was not good. It was degrading. Now it's the condition. I was knowing ki it will go fall, because what the thing and the I will be telling you, Byju's is really good. If you
Mhm.
go content wise, they have
Mhm.
a world class content. But the
Mhm.
problem was that services. I
Mhm.
was knowing that the services will not be up to date. The
Mhm.
mentors will not be available. Those services backfired Byju's right
Mhm.
now. Where is the Byju's? You'll be knowing it. So I was
Ah.
telling at that time also so many complained also to from my customers like you have to improve your post sales service, otherwise it won't be good. It won't
Mhm.
be surviving for long.
Mhm.
So if the thing is that if you are giving any content, you should be available for
Yeah.
the doubts and queries. So that is
Yes.
very important, and that
Mhm.
in this part, verbal help is like acing it. Like they are
Mhm.
available almost 24/7, if I can say that
Mm,
that kind of
yeah.
thing. So
Okay.
I'll be strongly suggesting for verbal up, no doubt in
Okay.
that.
Okay. So Atif, thank you so much for joining the session. Okay. So is there any suggestion from your side for verbal lab education? कोई suggestion आप करना चाहोगे कुछ या आप कुछ कहना चाहोगे at last? Like definitely जो आप चाहते थे you want GMAT, you qualified
Yes.
GMAT, you did it right. So आप अभी कुछ suggest करोगे जो student GMAT के लिए prepare कर रहे हैं या जो
Yeah,
या
definitely. I'll be suggesting because GMAT is not an easy exam. Even I know that. Even people knows it. But because it's easy for English people like this whose native
हाँ,
language is English, it will be easy for them for the verbal part. But
हम्म,
again, they are not good at quant. They are not
yeah,
good at maths. So
हम्म,
it's maths is difficult for them.
हम्म,
For we as an Indian, we have a normal human tendency like we are good at maths, right?
yeah,
So
okay.
quant will be easy for us.
Mm,
So what are the things you have to give your time? Because for me, it was only verbal. That first part time also, I got 48 in
mm,
quant, 7 in IR, but verbal was the thing that let me down in the first attempt.
okay.
So the thing is that if verbal, because I was like, okay, हो जाएगा, कोई नहीं कर लेंगे. But the thing is that you have to prioritize verbal if your verbal is weak. You have to prioritize quant if your quant is weak. But you have to understand which part is your weak and you have to give your time accordingly. So later part, what I did was I am giving 1 hour, then for verbal I was giving 4 hours. So you have to give the time based on
Mm,
that. So every student, like every aspirants of GMAT, I would strongly recommend it.
mm,
First, you analyze your strong part.
mm,
Based on that, you have to prioritize your time.
mm,
Because if you're strong in maths and you're doing only maths, you'll be getting good marks in maths. But what will happen in verbal? So you have to prioritize, and based on that, you have to because don't start with OG. I'll start with because when you start with OG, you won't be getting why the answers are correct. So go with the basic, right? Start with the level one. I will be recommending 550, 600 level. Then once you master those, then only move ahead, right? So based on your target score, work on that, right? So I'll strongly recommend that. And after clearing GMAT, also, I'm not going for MBA. I'm going for my MSBA because I was good at analytics part. So I'm going for business analytics. So
mm,
and even I'm from computer science background, so it will have coding part also, coding plus maths
mm,
statistics. So I am good at it. So I'm going for my wish because India is some country where we'll be studying mechanical engineering, we'll be working in an IT field. You have done computer science engineering, you will be working in a sales field. But
mm,
if you come to abroad or other countries, they will be do with your passion, whatever thing you like it, do that,
mm,
and will be getting placed in that only, right? So that's why
okay.
I took
Mm,
my like interest. Maths is my interest,
mm,
and computers like programming is also my core part. I studied that only. That's
mm,
why I'm going for MSBA
mm,
rather than MBA. So those who want to go,
okay.
check your dreams, check your interest. Based on that, select. Because when I started, I was not knowing कि MBA कौन सा लूंगा, कौन सा field लूंगा. I was not. I was asking with Hassan sir कि sir आई चूज कि मुझे जीमैट करना है, बट जीमैट के बाद क्या, मुझे क्या सेलेक्ट करना है, मुझे वो चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था. सो
Mm,
ड्यूरिंग द कोर्स ओनली आई रियलाइज दिस विल बी बेटर फॉर मी. एंड मोस्ट ऑफ माई फ्रेंड्स ऑल्सो सजेस्टेड दोज हु
mm,
आर स्टडिंग इन अब्रॉड कि तू
mm,
ये कर ले बिकॉज तेरा इंटरेस्ट है उसमें एंड यू कैन डू बेटर इन दिस. So that's why I selected this. And Queens is in Belfast. Everyone must be knowing Russell Group. Russell Group is
mm,
a very big group in like UK. The
mm,
all Cambridge, Oxford, these colleges comes under Russell Group only.
mm,
So Russell Group College, and its world ranking is also 200 something. So Queens, I got it finally because in India I won't be getting that good college because in India they will be seeing your 10th marks, 12th marks,
Yeah,
graduation marks.
yeah,
Because
that.
I have a very like not good marks in 12th when I was in quota. I got diverted, some kind of thing. I could not score good. That's why I could not get a IT company placement because I was not having a good marks in 12th. So I believe it depends upon the person, how what is the state, and
Mhm.
I should not be giving priority to the percentage basis. It should be always on your talent and competitive nature. That is really good. GMAT gave me that key after scoring low also. I got a good college, and
Mhm.
finally I am hoping I'll be getting a good job also. So hope for the best. Next
Mhm.
month I'll be leaving India,
Uh,
and I'll be in contact with all of
Okay.
you guys.
Okay, okay. So, Atif, thank you so much for joining the session, and we wish you best of luck for your future, my dear. Like, in case you need any help, and we are here. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. If
Okay,
I'll
my
be
dear.
getting any references or something, I'll be directly giving you the access and asking you to give a demo class and try to them keep they also clear those exams. Okay.
Okay, my dear.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye
Have a
bye.
nice session
And
with
take
you.
care. Oh, okay.